AI-powered webcam review coming your way right now. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the OBSBOT Tiny AI-powered webcam. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. You can see how it comes packaged right here in a very simple retail box. This is an AI-powered webcam, 1080p Full HD, 30 frames per second. It features gesture control and it has a 2-axis gimbal. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. Here are all the package contents. First up, you can see we have a warranty card with their customer service and contact information, followed by our user guide and manual complete in multiple languages with charts, diagrams, and setup information. Then you can see we have our USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable right here. Next, you can see our magnetic monitor and TV mount base for the webcam. So you can adjust that to fit to your monitor. Pretty cool. Big magnet too to attach to the bottom of the Tiny itself right here. The OBSBOT Tiny. You can see how small and compact this camera is. Right there with their logo and branding front and center, our 2-axis gimbal. You can see it from the top down with the lens. We can see it from all different sides and angles right here. There's our power and USB Type-C, 2 different options. DC 5 volt, 1 amp if you want to use the first option with the barrel connector. Here it is from the bottom. You can see we have a tripod threaded adapter. We can attach this to a tripod. We also have that magnetic base. So our TV and monitor stand attaches right in place for the webcam. Very lightweight too. You can just see it again from all different sides and angles and how it's going to be able to rotate with the included 2-axis gimbal. Now let's go ahead, let's go over the controls and the indicator light status. So on page 7 of the user guide, they go over the advanced gesture controls. We have 2 different controls for this AI-powered webcam. The first one is this signal either to track or cancel tracking. So lock in on your target or not lock in on your target. Then the next signal we have is this right here. This is going to either zoom in or zoom out for us with the 2x zoom that this webcam has to offer for us. Then on page 8, we have our indicator light chart. That's very helpful. So first up, if all 3 lights are flashing red slowly, that means the upgrade failed. The camera failed to update. If all 3 lights are red, there's some sort of product failure. Maybe it's pan tilt zoom, an AI error, or something is wrong with the webcam. If all 3 are yellow, it's losing and lost the target for tracking. If the middle light is green, there is no target lock, so it's not tracking anything. If all 3 lights are green, the target was locked in. If all 3 are flashing blue, this means the product is being initialized. If all 3 lights are flashing blue one by one, and then all of them flash once together, this means your gesture is recognized successfully. And during an upgrade, the blue lights and yellow lights flash alternatively. That's going to let you know that you are updating your webcam. And that's a quick look at all the different indicator status lights that you may receive or experience with the OBSBOT Tiny right here. Now let's go ahead, let's plug it in and try it out. So here we go. You can see I got the camera plugged in, powered on, and everything's working great. We added it to OBS, which is a free streaming and recording software, especially since OBS is in the name of the OBSBOT, the OBSBOT. So gotta try that out. It's plug and play ready for Mac and PC users, which is very nice. So a seamless integration and setup. Then just head over to your favorite video or live streaming platform, add the webcam as the source for your video, and you're all set and ready to go. If you want, you can head over to their website. You can download additional software. You can see I have that on the screen as well too. We'll walk through some of the settings for the software right now. Then we'll head back into OBS and we'll look at the camera in more detail. We'll try out some of these features. We'll also try out the built-in mic quality and really put it to the test. But if you want to use the TinyCam software, you can see what it's going to look like. You have 2 different tabs. The first one's the camera tab. You can see how many connected devices you have, gimbal controls. You can see our zoom right here too, so we can zoom in all the way to that 2x zoom. We have our presets down here. We can continue to add those if we have a custom position we want to set the camera to, and we can quickly go to it. We can also just do some manual movement right here with the camera. You can see that, and it moves really nice. Really nice. Now it's going back to track me again. So then you can click on the next icon, the settings gear icon. You can see all the different settings that we have right here. We're up to date with our firmware and software. We have our device status. We can turn on or off gesture controls for both the target and the zoom. We can select our tracking mode. We have headroom mode, standard mode, and motion mode. Then you can see we can configure our video just like you would in OBS for any webcam. You can see that right here with your Windows device settings for that specific webcam. Anti-flicker, we can turn that on or off. Preset positions on or off. We have global hotkeys as well too. If you want to set hotkeys, you can see what they are with a nice hotkey list. Tons of different hotkeys for you to use. You can turn that on or off right there. Multiple languages. And then with the More tab, we get our export log. We can upgrade the manual, firmware upgrade, or factory reset. Now let's go ahead. Let's continue trying the camera out. So now we're filming with the OBSBOT Tiny right here, and we're using the raw mic audio. This webcam does feature 2 omnidirectional microphones with noise canceling. So what you hear is what it's going to sound like. We are not editing the audio in any way for this portion of the video. This is going to be your raw mic audio from the OBSBOT Tiny webcam right here. So overall, so far so good. Again, very easy integration into OBS. And I like seeing the indicator light, and it's just really amazing how tiny this camera is. Let's go over to the software, guys. Let's check out a couple more of the features. First up, let's go and let's just move the gimbal ourselves right here. You can see we can slide it around. It's going to hit our studio lights now, and it's going to adjust for us automatically. We have all the auto settings on right here, so check it out. There you go. We have it all the way over there, and now we're bringing it back to us. Let's get back in the frame. Hey, there he is. Up. We went a little bit too far. Let's go back. Cool. There we go. So you can see back in the frame right there. We're controlling all that ourselves through the software. We can adjust the zoom too. 2x zoom. Pretty cool. Let's bring it back up. There we go. So I'm in the shot, front and center. Let's zoom back out right there. Now let's go ahead. Let's turn on our AI tracking again, and we have the gesture controls on. So here we go. I should be able to move around a little bit, and the camera's going to follow me even just here in the studio. I'm trying to get away from it, but I can't. Oh, look at that. And this is just the standard mode, which is cool. So it's tracked us. No issues right there. Let's go ahead. Let's issue some of those gestures. So here we go. Here's the zoom one, and I can see the indicator light. It's showing me that it just zoomed. Now it's zooming back out. Now it's zooming back in. And now we can zoom right back out. And that's pretty responsive, right? Not bad. Not at all. All right, let's try just one finger. Is it smart enough? 2 fingers? Look at that. Works just fine. So if you're pointing, it's not going to do it. If you drop that L, though, there you go. You can see it's going to zoom right back in. Let's go back out. Did that probably a little bit too fast. There we go. Super responsive. Holy cow. Now let's go ahead. You can see it's still going to track me. And maybe I don't want to be tracked right now. So let's go ahead. Let's turn off the tracking. All right. We should be set now. And now I'm going to move. And what would you know? It's not tracking me at all anymore right there. While we still have the software pulled up on the screen, let's go ahead. Let's look at our different options. Let's do headroom mode. And let's turn it back on. So there you go. You can see. Now we have proper headroom. So if I move around, look at that. My head's off the screen and then it comes back on. So here we go. Same thing over here. It's going to want to give proper framing and headroom as it sees me. Pretty cool, right? And look at that. It's going to compensate the other way too. So it's going to be very responsive to make sure your head's not being cut off on a stream or a live video if you want to use that mode. And then you can see a couple more options right here. we can do our motion mode. And I'm going to guess that's going to be even more responsive, which is pretty cool, to the motion. I like that though. So it's really following me with the motion, which I think is cool. I like that. So you have a couple different options, guys. Headroom, standard, or the motion mode. Maybe you like to just move around all the time and you want to keep the camera in check. You can do that right here with the different mode settings that the OBSBOT has to offer. So now we're back to our main studio audio, but I wanted you guys to be able to see a couple more features of the OBSBOT Pro from our main camera as well. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna adjust the rotation and the tilt. We have a 150-degree pan and we have a 45-degree tilt. So let's go ahead, let's adjust the tilt first. So we're gonna tilt it all the way down and you can see the camera pointing all the way down now and what that looks like. So it goes all the way to its base. And now let's bring it all the way back up. And you can see it's going to point up to the sky, top of the studio right there. Now let's bring it back to the center. It's going to take its time, its sweet time to come back. There we go. I'm making my way back into the frame right there. Let's drop it there. And now, guys, it's going to track back with me again because we have the tracking on. Let's go ahead. Let's unlock that for now. But now let's look at our pan. So we have a 150-degree pan right here. So we're going to pan all the way around. You can see that. And now let's go back the other way with the pan. So just pay attention to how far the camera can rotate and move with the gimbal. Really nice. Look at that, all the way around right here. You can see that, and now we can go back to where we were. We can just easily do that with a quick little reset to where the camera originally was. Now let's go ahead, let's turn back on our tracking, and it tracked with me again. So everything's working just fine with the camera. Again, so much movement with that 2-axis gimbal. We have a lot of freedom and flexibility in the shot that we're trying to capture. We have a lot of studio lights on right here. So now let me go ahead, let's turn them off and see how it does in a low light environment. So we got the studio lights turned off right now. We still have all the auto settings for our OBSBOT camera right here. We have one window of light illuminating the studio right now and a couple of monitors so you can see what it looks like in this low light setting. It actually looks very natural to what it looks like here in the room with the webcam. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised with the low light image quality that we're getting with this webcam. Let's move around a little bit too. And you can see it's still tracking us just fine. I'm impressed, no issues there. All right, and then let's go back. Now let's try our commands again. So let's turn off tracking and it just registered. So look at that. All is well there. Let's try the other one now. And now you can see it just zoomed in. No issues. And let's zoom back out. Can it zoom back out? Might be too close. There we go. And now it can zoom right back out for us. Let's initiate tracking again. So let's see, was it able to turn tracking back on? I don't know if I did it. All right, let's try that. There we go. Now we got the right light right there. So that's nice too. You have the light indicator to let you know when it has initiated it, traction, all that good stuff. So it's working really good here in a low light environment. Obviously with any webcam, the better supporting light that you have around you, the better the image quality is gonna be. So I wanted to point out too, another cool feature that you get with the most recent update for this webcam is the ability for it to know when it's placed upside down, and then it corrects the image for you as well. So now you can see I'm holding the camera upside down, but now it has flipped the video for us. And now I'm going to flip it back and you can see right there. We'll do it again and we'll do it again. And it's smart enough to know when it's upside down to rotate the video for you in case you want to mount it maybe from the ceiling or some cool setup scenario. They have you covered right there with what it's able to do. So it's really amazing with the software. They continue to add features to this camera as time goes on, which is always something promising to see when you're a consumer, that you're investing in equipment that they're still investing in as well. So overall, guys, after using this webcam, I gotta say this has a ton of potential and I'm excited for the future of this technology as it continues to grow, advance, and change. So I love the size of this webcam. I love that it's USB Type-C. I love the image quality too at 1080p 30 frames per second. They actually do a really good job. And we do have manual control, so we can really tweak it to our own preferences depending on our lighting environment, studio, that sort of thing. 2-axis gimbal gives us plenty of rotation and movement, so very impressed with that too. And it has some good features so far. But with that being said, I'd like to see even more features built out in the future, more gesture controls, maybe the ability to use hand movements and things to actually make the camera rotate and do other things, like almost like a manual control like we're using the software. It'd be nice if we could do that with our hands too, to be like, hey, look over here, and then you like do a motion like this and the camera goes that way or the other way. I'd also like to see the ability to set some other modes too, just like a fully autonomous mode. So what I would like to see, and I wasn't able to find it anywhere, is the ability to just have the camera always do a constant pan, just a very slow pan, back and forth, back and forth. I'd love just to have that ability too, maybe even a constant tilt up and down, just very slowly, just to give you those nice cinematic movements to the camera. So maybe you're filming by yourself and you want to use this as like a third camera in the background to get those nice movements for some great B-roll. That would be so cool if we had that option, like a cameraman mode, where it can just do those slow movements back and forth, maybe a combination of them as well. So you'd have different presets you can choose from there. I'd love to see that be integrated in the future. And I'm hopeful for that because they continue to change the settings and upgrade the settings with software updates, like what we talked about earlier with switching it upside down. It will stay right side up for you. So I'm hopeful maybe in the future they can add some of those features. And obviously I'd love to see in the next version 4K support at 30 and 60 frames per second. That would be really, really cool. But so far, so good. Small form factor and a lot of features, and everything's working just fine. Actually, I'd say a little bit better than you would expect with AI technology. Obviously, it's never going to be 100%, but in this case, very responsive and actually useful. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.